Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is a special one-off reading for the full moon on the 31st of October. Now, what I've done here is pull out some of the major arcana cards that represent the major players in this event, and I'm then going to clarify those with some minor arcana. So the cards I've pulled out are Death, representing Scorpio. I'll just pop that over here. And to go with Death, Scorpio, I have pulled out the Sun, because the Sun is in Scorpio at the moment. So I'll put those two together over there. Now, Taurus, and the moon is in Taurus for this full moon, we have the Hierophant. So I'll pop him over there, and I've pulled the moon out there as well to sit with the Hierophant. And the other main player in very, very close proximity, so to speak, with Taurus is Uranus. And I think this is what's going to give the real kind of warmth to this full moon. And for Uranus, I have chosen the Tower, because Uranus is the planet of revolution, quick change, and electricity. And we see, the Tower is always a sudden change involving lightning. So those are the players as I see them in this event coming up on the 31st of October. So again, we've got Death, the Sun, the Tower, the Hierophant, and the Moon. So we've got Taurus over here, Moon in Taurus, Sun in Scorpio over here, and Uranus in the middle. So I'm going to pull some minor arcana now. I'm just going to give one more shuffle. I've been shuffling these for about an hour. I got a message from someone, I got a comment from someone saying, why aren't you using the full deck? Can't trust this reading. And I replied, I principally work with major arcana, each to their own, smiley face. So, we've all got a choice. There are thousands of readers here on YouTube, so we all choose what we like, don't we? But on this occasion, I am using some minor arcana because I want to look more deeply. I mean, this is already, obviously I haven't pulled these at random, just to make that absolutely clear. These are the cards that I think represent the major players. There's already a real opposition, and there's always an opposition between Taurus and Scorpio because they are opposite signs. So we've got this strong sense of transformation here, sweeping away with the old and creating room for a whole new transformative, transfigurative, transmutational thing going on. Scorpio is dark depths, water, emotion, passion, all of that kind of stuff. And opposite, we have the High Priest, the Hierophant here, Taurus, very fixed, very earthy, everything, all the sort of subtle stuff of life, because it's the High Priest, not the Emperor. So this is about belief systems, how our beliefs about things are concretized in our lives, in the kind of outward aspect of our lives. The High Priestess is the inner aspect, the High Priest is the outer aspect. So there's a huge opposition naturally already between these two cards. So we have an expansive energy on death, and we have a kind of reflective energy because the moon is reflected light, and it's really, again, even in the relationship, in the connection of the moon and Taurus and the sun and Scorpio. I mean, the sun is constant. I know it appears to come and go, but it doesn't. The earth revolves, and for the period it's dark, it's simply because the earth is blocking out the sun. The sun is always there, it's constant, and it's constantly it's in a constant process of expansion, and that's what the light is. And so there's something, it's steady. The moon, on the other hand, I mean, the moon, the object itself, is steady in and of itself, but the way it appears to us here is constantly changing, going through this cycle of waxing and waning and growing and shrinking. And the light, as I say, is reflected from this. So we have this kind of certainty with this transformation, and this uncertainty with this very, very fixed, stable energy of the Hierophant. So already there's a lot of contradiction. And slap bang in the middle, we have Uranus, which can change things like that. And in a really kind of, in an electrifying way. And in some ways, it's like this energy, this electric energy of the lightning here, bringing swift, utter change. I mean, whoever built this tower really was not expecting that to happen. It really didn't budget that in. And in a way, what we're going through at the moment globally is a kind of a reflection of that, because the people running things really did not budget for a flipping great virus to come in and turn everything over. And we're only at the beginning of that process. We're way at the beginning of how that is going to play out. I mean, the virus itself will at some point lose its effect, lose the effect that it's having now, but it's a constantly evolving situation, and we're going to be feeling it for the rest of our lives, essentially. It's life changing. I'm just going to drink some tea. Hold on a sec. So yeah, it's a very interesting kind of shape here. We've got contradiction here, opposition here, but that happens every year. And happening here. And yeah, as I was saying, in a way, this energy, this electrical energy, is kind of being earthed through, Taurus here. The full moon in Taurus it's like a sort of lightning rod, and that is or an earthing, a lightning rod for that electricity of Uranus. And the connection between Taurus and Uranus is not a fleeting one. It really settled in to a connection earlier this year, in the spring of this year, and I think it runs through till 2024 or something like that. So it's not a fleeting, they're not ships passing in the night like that. They're trundling along next to each other for quite a while. So anyway, let's move on. I'm just going to give one more with the minors. I haven't really rehearsed how this is going to go, all right? So I'm just going to intuitively pull some of these, I'm just going to pull some of these minor arcanas and, use my instinct to wing it. Okay, that said, first off, I'm going to pull for this, then this, then this. Okay, that I'm going to do. Okay, we've got the 9 of Cups. So, again, that's pretty solid, the 9 of Cups. It's the pulling together of emotional energy into the self. All the nines are kind of solitary cards. We don't see groups on the nines. It's always a person on their own. And obviously the one that comes after this, the Ten of Cups, is when you take this emotional fulfillment and expand it into the outside world, because then you see the family scene and the generational scene. But here it's the individual. So we've got individual emotional certainty and sort of satisfaction and containedness here. Okay, over here we've got the King of Cups. Right, so there's, already we can see there's a balance here. It's the first bit of balance we've seen, really, because we've pulled 2 cup cards. Another individual, I mean, obviously the royal cards, the court cards are all individuals, but there's an upgrading. Like, we haven't bothered looking at the it's the Ten of Pentacles that shows all the generations of the family, isn't it? But the Ten of Cups is the rainbow. So we've skipped that. Okay, we're going from this individual here who says, yes, I've got everything I need, thank you very much, to this royal individual here who says, yes, I am in charge of myself on this matter. And I'm so secure on my throne that I can afford to dip my toe into the water here. I can dip it in, dip it out. I can go into my emotions and come out again in one piece. I'm not kind of swayed by them. He's not swayed by his emotions, this one. So okay, what I'm getting here is that we're moving from I to the royal we. Okay, this is this is an upgrading of emotional power and emotional control. Here in the Nine of Cups, we've got someone who has pulled themselves together emotionally and is self-contained emotionally. Here we have emotional mastery, self-mastery. So yeah, I think what we might feel on the individual side of it is reflected here and reflected in the reflected light of the moon. This full moon reflects our personal emotional state, and there might be a tendency in this to imagine, and it might actually be the case, funnily enough, that what we're feeling on the individual, this expansion of transformation here, is reflected in the collective over here, because I am very struck by the kind of the majesty of these two figures. We've got the spiritual majesty here and the emotional majesty here. Wow, okay, all right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to pull one now and stick it over the tower. Okay, Page of Pentacles. So an offer and a new material way, a new way of doing things on the material front, perhaps with money, perhaps with objects. The pentacles are like earthy, touchable, tangible things. And this links very much in with the sign of Taurus over here. But this is new, it's fresh, it's young, and it's an opportunity. So this full moon, via this kind of conductive energy of Uranus here, being conducted via the lightning rod of Taurus down to the earth, ushers in a whole new way of working in the world in a worldly way. And it's very interesting that this worldly earth energy of the pentacle here is the youngest one on the table. This is not a young person, Nine of Cups. This is not a young person, King of Cups. So we have this emotional maturity. And as I say, we've skipped the 10 and the page and the knight and the queen. We've skipped all the way from this emotional satisfaction to this emotional self-mastery. And sitting in the middle in conjunction with this revolutionary energy of Uranus is this new offer for worldly activity, material activity, money, wood, stone, glass, earth, soil, building things, actually material reality, emotion, material. And I get the feeling that this might be a little bit lost. There might be something that is offered up through this full moon in terms of a new way of operating within the world that might be ignored for a while or just not seen for a while, because there's so much transformative expansion going on and so much emphasis on the emotional fulfillment of the individual. And on the other side of it, this kind of energy of being earthed in this spiritual hierarchy of the high priest with this emotional self-mastery of the King of Cups, that this might get kind of just swept on through without us noticing it. However, I'm going to create a little bit of space here, because this conjunction of Uranus and Taurus here, represented by the Tower and the Hierophant, this is the key one. This is what makes this particular full moon in this Scorpio season, this particular full moon in Taurus, really, really interesting. And so this is a kind of group on its own here: the Moon, Taurus, the King of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. And this is a slow burner, all right? This is a slow burner, this Page of Pentacles. It comes, this electrical change energy, earthed by Taurus, showing a new way of operating materially within the world. As I say, it might kind of, you might be watching the news and there's all this stuff, and then suddenly there's this tiny little report about some new technology or some new way of building something, or some new development with, I don't know, maybe a cryptocurrency or something, and it goes past and it's like, wow, that was interesting, and then you don't hear about it again for a while, and then 5 years from now it's the way it is, because it's matured more. This is young, it's fresh, and you might not notice it when it comes, but it's going to change things for a very, very long time. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Now, I've got the Queen of Wands. I'm just going a bit more general now in terms of this spread. Queen of Wands, so mastery in action, and kind of mastery in action that isn't all about self-mastery. That's the King of Wands. The Queen of Wands has more of an eye to her people and how her actions affect the population, affect the citizens, affect her subjects. And I see this through the sunflower that she's holding, because that sunflower turns its head, as we've seen sunflowers do, to follow the sun. So she's looking, she surveys the kingdom, the queendom, she surveys and makes sure that her actions are beneficial to the general population and not just to herself. She's not so much concerned about with her own self-mastery, job done there. She's concerned with how it affects her children, in essence. So that to me, it again feeds in to this slow burner, long development of whatever this new way, this gift of a whole new way of operating on the worldly front, ushered in by the electrical energy of Uranus here, um, conducting its revolutionary energy through Taurus. But because it's the moon in Taurus and not the sun in Taurus, it takes a while. So it comes and it recedes, it waxes and it wanes, but it's got legs. Whatever is coming in here has got legs. And that to me is shown by the Queen of Wands. So I'm going to leave it there because this is quite this is an unusual reading for me to do. And I honestly wouldn't know what else to pull on at the moment. So what I am saying for the 31st of October, for this full moon in Taurus, in the sign of Scorpio, aspected strongly by Uranus, is that some new way of doing things will make itself in this time, in this period, will make itself apparent, will probably not be taken up immediately, but will in the long term be taken up. And the individual emotional state is strong here, in Scorpio with the sun, and the collective, the self-mastery, self-satisfaction, self-mastery. So whatever this is in the Page of Pentacles here, that is over the long term, Queen of Wands, going to play out. Whatever this is going to favour both the matter of individual happiness and individual self-mastery and collective emotional state. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was of interest. A bit of a different way of doing it for me. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Namaste.